Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Open English Podcast. I'm Sam.
And I'm Lisa. We're so happy you're here with us today.
Today's topic is something that makes many people nervous, even people who are confident in their own language.
Starting a conversation with a stranger.
Yes, that moment when you see someone, maybe at a bus stop, maybe in a waiting room, maybe at a social event, and you want to say something, but you don't know how to start.
And in English, this can feel even harder because you're thinking about the language at the same time as thinking about what to say.
So today, we want to make this easier. We'll share stories, talk about why starting conversations feels scary, and give you real phrases that work in real situations.
Before we start, a quick request. If you enjoy this podcast, please subscribe. It's completely free.
And if you're watching on YouTube, please like the video. It helps more English learners find us every week.
Okay, let's talk about starting conversations with strangers.
Sam, I want to start with a question. Are you the kind of person who talks to strangers easily?
Honestly, it depends on the situation. In some situations, yes. In others, absolutely not.
Give us an example of when you find it easy.
When there's something obvious to comment on, like if something funny happens or if we're both waiting for the same thing and it's taking a very long time.
A shared experience.
Yes, a shared experience makes starting a conversation feel natural because you both already have something in common.
And when do you find it hard?
When there's nothing obvious, like at a networking event where you're supposed to talk to people, but everyone is just standing there holding a drink, looking at their phone.
Oh, networking events, the most awkward social invention in history.
The most awkward. You know you should talk to people, that's literally why you're there, but somehow starting still feels impossible.
I know that feeling exactly. You walk in, you get a drink, you stand near the food table.
The food table strategy again.
The food table is always the safe zone. You look busy, you look like you have a purpose.
But you're not actually talking to anyone.
No, you're just eating and hoping someone approaches you first.
Which is exactly what everyone else is doing.
So nobody talks to anyone and you go home wondering why you came.
That's a very relatable experience.
Okay, I have a story about a time I forced myself to start a conversation with a stranger and it changed something for me.
Tell us.
So, about 4 years ago, I was at a professional conference, a big event, many people. I didn't know anyone there.
Already stressful.
Very stressful, and during the lunch break, I was sitting alone at a table with my food, trying to look like I was thinking deeply about something important.
When actually you were just hoping nobody noticed you were alone.
Exactly. And then a man sat down across from me, also alone, also looking like he was thinking deeply about something important.
Two people pretending to be busy.
Two people pretending to be busy, and I thought, okay, one of us has to say something. So I looked up and I said, "Is this your first time at this conference?"
A simple question.
The simplest question, and he looked up and his whole face relaxed, like he was relieved someone spoke first.
Because he was probably feeling exactly the same way you were.
Exactly the same. He said, "Yes, first time, you?" And we talked for the entire lunch break. And it turned out he worked in a field very connected to mine. We exchanged contacts.
And that connection came from one simple question.
One question, 5 words. Is this your first time?
And if you hadn't asked, you would both have sat in silence for 30 minutes.
Eaten our food, gone home, and never known that opportunity existed.
That's such a good example of what happens when you push past the discomfort.
The discomfort lasts about 2 seconds. The connection can last years.
I have a story too. Mine is a little funnier.
Please go ahead.
So a few years ago, I was waiting for a train. The train was very late, about 40 minutes late.
That's a long wait.
A very long wait, and everyone on the platform was frustrated. You could feel it. People checking their phones, sighing loudly, looking at the board every 30 seconds.
The collective frustration of delayed public transport.
Yes, and there was a woman standing next to me, also waiting, also frustrated. And at some point, she looked at the board, sighed very loudly, and said to nobody in particular, "Incredible."
Just that one word.
Just incredible, with so much feeling in it.
And what did you do?
I laughed. I couldn't help it because her one word said everything everyone on that platform was thinking. And I said, I know. At this point, I've memorized every advertisement on this platform.
And she laughed.
She laughed, and we started talking about the train, about the city, about where we were going. We talked for the entire 40 minutes we were waiting.
And the delayed train became the reason for a great conversation.
Yes, a shared frustration turned into a connection. And when the train finally came, we said goodbye like old friends.
Did you stay in touch?
No, we never saw each other again, but that conversation made a 40-minute delay feel like nothing.
And that's actually one of the beautiful things about conversations with strangers. They don't have to lead anywhere. Sometimes they're just a good moment.
A moment of human connection, and then you both go your separate ways, and that's perfectly fine.
Okay, let's talk about why starting conversations with strangers feels so scary, because understanding this helps.
The first reason is fear of rejection.
Yes, you say something, and the other person doesn't respond well. Maybe they look annoyed. Maybe they give a short answer and look away.
And that feels bad. It feels like a small rejection.
So to avoid that feeling, many people say nothing at all.
But here's the reality. Most people respond positively when someone starts a conversation in a friendly and natural way.
The rejection scenario that we imagine is much rarer than we think.
And even when someone doesn't want to talk, it's almost never personal. They might be tired. They might be worried about something. It has nothing to do with you.
The second reason is not knowing what to say.
Yes, people stand there thinking, what do I even say? How do I start? What if it sounds stupid?
And the thinking takes so long that the moment passes.
And then you feel worse because you didn't say anything.
So having some ready phrases removes the thinking. You don't need to create something original in the moment. You just use a phrase that works.
Which is exactly what we're going to give you today.
The third reason is cultural uncertainty, especially for people learning English.
Yes, in some cultures, talking to strangers is very normal. In others, it's unusual.
And when you're in an English-speaking environment, you might not know the social rules. Is this okay here? Will this person think I'm strange?
Generally, in English-speaking cultures, friendly small talk with strangers is very accepted, especially in certain situations.
Like waiting in line, in an elevator for a short ride, at social events, in coffee shops, on public transport.
In those situations, a friendly comment or question is almost always welcome.
Okay, let's get into the phrases. What do you actually say to start a conversation with a stranger?
Let's look at different situations, starting with the easiest one.
Situation 1. You're waiting somewhere, a bus stop, a queue, a waiting room.
The easiest conversation starter in this situation is a comment about the shared experience.
For example, this queue is moving so slowly. Have you been waiting long?
Or, the weather today is something else, isn't it? A comment about the weather is the most classic conversation starter in English.
And it works because it's neutral. It's not personal. Anyone can respond to it.
Or if there's a long delay, I think we're going to be here a while. Do you know what's happening?
Asking for information is a very natural way to start. You have a practical reason to speak.
And it gives the other person an easy role. They either have the information or they don't. Either way, a conversation starts.
Situation 2. At a social event or party.
This is where many people struggle because there's no obvious shared experience to comment on.
So you create one. You ask about their connection to the event.
The classic phrase is, how do you know the host? Or, are you a friend of Sarah's?
This works because everyone at the event has a reason for being there, and that reason is an easy conversation topic.
Another good opener is this your first time at one of these events? Or, have you been to this place before?
Or simply, hi, I'm Sam. I don't think we've met.
That one is beautifully simple. You introduce yourself, you acknowledge your strangers, and you invite them to introduce themselves.
And most people will respond with their own name and probably a question back.
Because the social expectation after someone introduces themselves is to introduce yourself back.
So you start the chain and it continues naturally.
Situation 3, in a casual public space.
This one requires a little more observation. You need something specific to comment on.
For example, if someone is reading a book you recognize, oh, I've been meaning to read that. Is it good?
Instant conversation, because people love talking about books they enjoy.
Or if someone has a laptop with an interesting sticker, or wearing a shirt from a city you know.
Is that from Barcelona? I visited there last year. Suddenly you have a topic.
The key is to be specific, not general. A specific observation shows you were paying attention, and that feels like a compliment.
And it gives the other person something concrete to respond to.
Situation 4, at work or a professional setting.
With colleagues you don't know well yet, you can say, I don't think we've worked together before. I'm Sam. I'm in the marketing team.
Or in a meeting before it starts, have you been involved in this project from the beginning? I just joined recently.
These openers are professional but friendly. They give context about who you are, and they invite the other person to share about themselves.
Okay, now let's talk about what to do after the opening, because starting is just the first step.
Yes, after you say your opening line, you need to keep the conversation going.
The best tool for this is asking follow-up questions.
A follow-up question is a question that comes from what the other person just said. It shows you were listening.
For example, they say, I'm waiting for my friend. We're going to see a concert tonight. And you say, oh, really? What kind of music?
You picked up something they said and asked more about it.
That's all a follow-up question is. It's not complicated. You just listen and ask about one detail.
And people love talking about the things they mentioned because they mentioned them for a reason.
Another tool is sharing something about yourself after you ask, so the conversation feels balanced.
For example, they answer your question about music, and then you say, I love live music. I haven't been to a concert in ages.
Now they know something about you, and they might ask you a question back.
And suddenly you have a real conversation, not just a one-sided interview.
Yes, a good conversation is like a game of catch. You throw, they catch. They throw back, you catch.
Back and forth, equal and natural.
And if there's a moment of silence, that's okay. Short silences are normal. You don't need to fill every second.
A comfortable silence is actually a sign that the conversation is going well, that both people are relaxed.
And after a short silence, you can always introduce a new small topic. So, are you from this city originally? Is always a safe and natural question.
Okay, let's also talk about how to end a conversation with a stranger, because sometimes you need to move on.
Yes, you don't have to talk forever, and ending naturally is just as important as starting naturally.
A simple and friendly ending is, it was really nice talking to you. I hope you enjoy the concert.
Or, well, I think my train is coming. It was great chatting with you.
Chatting means having a casual, friendly conversation.
Or at an event, I should go find my friend, but it was lovely meeting you.
These endings are warm, they acknowledge the conversation was good, and they close it naturally without any awkwardness.
And if you want to stay in touch, you can say, it was great talking to you. Would you like to exchange contacts?
But only if it feels natural. Not every conversation with a stranger needs to continue.
Sometimes a good conversation on a train platform is exactly enough.
Okay, let's give our listeners a quick summary of all the phrases from today.
For waiting situations. Have you been waiting long? This queue is moving so slowly. The weather today is something else, isn't it?
For social events, how do you know the host? Is this your first time here? Hi, I'm Sam. I don't think we've met.
For casual public spaces. Is that book good? I've been meaning to read it. Is that from Barcelona? I visited there last year.
For professional settings, I don't think we've worked together before. I'm Sam from the marketing team. Have you been involved in this project long?
For keeping the conversation going, ask follow-up questions from what they said. Share something about yourself, too. Let silences be comfortable.
And for ending, it was really nice talking to you. It was great chatting with you. It was lovely meeting you.
Most people are relieved when someone else starts first.
So be that person. Start first. You might make someone's day.
Or make a friend, or find a professional connection, or simply have a good conversation that makes a long wait feel short.
All from a few simple words.
Before we go, our usual request.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe to the Open English podcast. It's completely free.
And if you're on YouTube, please like the video and leave us a comment.
Tell us about a time you started a conversation with a stranger, or tell us which phrase from today you want to try.
Write it in English in the comments. It's great practice, and we read every single one.
Share this episode with a friend who finds it hard to talk to new people. It might give them the confidence to try.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm Lisa.
And I'm Sam.
Go start a conversation today. You never know where it leads.
See you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.